I want to talk to you today about the best is next. It's easy to look back and think the best moments of our lives are behind us. Maybe you had a season where everything was going right, the opportunities, the success, the favor, and now it seems like things have slowed down. Or maybe you've been through disappointments, setbacks, and it feels like you've reached your limit, but I've learned this. God never does His greatest works in your past. He always saves the best for last. You may have seen goodness, but there's greater goodness coming. You may have seen favor, but there's a new level of favor on the way. The dreams you thought were too big, the promises you thought were out of reach, God is saying, you haven't seen anything yet. The best is still ahead. This is what faith is all about. Believing when you don't see it yet. Trusting when nothing is changing. Knowing that even in the waiting, God is working behind the scenes. Maybe you face closed doors. That doesn't mean the dream is over. It means God has something better. That relationship that didn't work out, the promotion you didn't get, the opportunity that passed you by. It wasn't a mistake, it was a setup. Because what's coming is greater than what you lost. I love what the scripture says. The path of the righteous gets brighter and brighter. That means you haven't peaked. You haven't reached your best days yet. If you think what you've seen is good, God is saying, just wait, the best is next. But here's the key. You have to stay in faith. You can't let disappointment steal your confidence. You can't let a delay make you give up on the promise. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. God is not done. I believe and declare new doors are about to open. New opportunities are coming your way. New favor, new relationships, new breakthroughs. The best is next. Keep moving forward. Keep believing and watch how God takes you places you never dreamed. Too often in life, people look back and believe that their greatest moments are behind them. They think their prime years have already come and gone, that they've reached the highest level they'll ever attain. Maybe they had an incredible season, a time of success, joy, or breakthroughs, and now they assume that nothing in the future can compare. It's easy to get caught up in nostalgia, reminiscing about what once was, but that kind of thinking can hold you back from everything that's still waiting for you. The truth is, life is designed to move forward. No matter how great the past may have been, the future holds even greater possibility. Every experience, every achievement, every victory was never meant to be the peak. It was simply preparation for what's ahead. Sometimes people settle into a mindset where they believe they've already seen the best of what life has to offer. But that kind of thinking is limiting. It keeps you from expecting greater things, from believing that there is more in store, and from preparing yourself to receive it. If you find yourself dwelling on what's behind you, it's time to shift your focus. There are still new heights to reach, new doors to walk through, new opportunities waiting. You are not meant to live in the past, but to step boldly into what's ahead. What you've accomplished so far is not the final chapter. It's simply part of the journey leading to something even greater. Think about a tree. When it grows, it doesn't stop at a certain height and say, this is as tall as I'll ever be. It continues to stretch upward, putting down deeper roots, reaching for the sky. It faces storms, seasons of drought, harsh conditions, but it keeps growing. It doesn't let challenges define its potential. In the same way, just because you've experienced difficulties or slow seasons doesn't mean you've reached your limit. Every challenge you've faced, every obstacle you've overcome has been building you up for what's next. Some people allow past experiences to define their entire future. Maybe they once had a great opportunity but lost it, and now they assume they'll never have another chance. Maybe they experienced a season of abundance but are now facing struggles, and they believe they'll never rise to that level again. That's not the way life works. If you only measure your future based on your past, you'll miss out on the incredible things still waiting for you. Each day is a new beginning. No matter what has happened before, the possibilities ahead of you are limitless. There are opportunities that haven't been revealed yet, doors that haven't opened yet, relationships you haven't even encountered yet. Just because you haven't seen them doesn't mean they don't exist. Too often people think that just because they don't see immediate progress, nothing is happening. But just like a seed underground, growth is taking place even when it's not visible. If you allow yourself to believe that your greatest moments are still ahead, you'll start living with greater expectation. Instead of looking back with longing, you'll look forward with excitement. Instead of reminiscing about what once was, you'll start preparing for what's to come. Your mindset shapes your reality. When you expect good things, when you prepare yourself for new opportunities, you position yourself to receive them. There is a reason that the windshield of a car is much larger than the rearview mirror. What's in front of you is far more important than what's behind you. If you spend too much time looking backward, you'll miss what's right in front of you. You can honor your past, celebrate what you've experienced, and appreciate what you've learned, but you don't have to stay there. Sometimes people think they've already reached their peak because they're no longer in the same season of life. They assume that if they're older, if they've been through setbacks, if they've experienced loss, then their best moments have passed. But history has proven over and over that this simply isn't true. Some of the greatest achievements, the most significant breakthroughs, and the most impactful moments happen later in life. The key is not to count yourself out too soon. Every new season brings new possibilities. What may have worked in the past might not be the path for the future, but that doesn't mean the journey is over. It just means there's a new direction, a new approach, a new opportunity waiting. Sometimes people resist change because they're comfortable with what they know. But if you never embrace what's ahead, you might miss out on something even greater than what you've experienced before. You have to stay open, stay expectant, and refuse to let the past define the limits of your future. The best moments of your life are not confined to a single season. Every step you've taken has been preparing you for what's coming next. Every lesson, every victory, every struggle has been shaping you into the person you're meant to be. You are still growing, still learning, still becoming. No matter where you are today, there is still more ahead. The journey is not over. You have not seen your greatest accomplishments, your most fulfilling relationships, your biggest breakthroughs yet. There is still more for you to experience, more for you to achieve, more for you to become. So don't let the past define your future. Don't assume that what you've seen is all there is. Keep looking forward, keep expecting, and keep preparing. Because no matter how good things have been, the story isn't over. Because there is still more to come. And the best part, the most amazing, rewarding, and fulfilling moments of your life aren't just possible, they are still ahead. They are next. Life is full of unexpected turns. There are moments when everything seems to be working in your favor. Doors are opening, opportunities are flowing, and you feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. But then, just as quickly, things can shift. A situation you were counting on may suddenly fall apart. A relationship that seemed strong may break down. A career path that once looked promising may come to a sudden halt. It's in these moments that doubt begins to creep in. You start to wonder if you missed your chance, if that was your only opportunity, or if things will ever work out in your favor again. It's easy to let disappointment settle in. You may find yourself thinking that if it didn't happen the way you planned, then maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe you start questioning whether you have what it takes or if you should lower your expectations. But what you need to understand is that just because one opportunity has come to an end doesn't mean there aren't more ahead. In fact, what may look like a loss can often be the very thing that leads you to something greater. Sometimes things don't work out the way we expect because there's a better path waiting for us. When a door closes, it's not always a sign that you've failed. It's often a sign that there is something greater being prepared for you. What you saw as the perfect plan may have only been a temporary step, not the final destination. Think about a time when you really wanted something to happen. A job, a relationship, a big opportunity. You put in the effort. You did everything right, but for some reason, it just didn't come together. At the time, it may have felt like a setback, Maybe you felt frustrated, confused, or even discouraged. But looking back, you can often see how that situation was leading you somewhere even better. Many times we get comfortable in our current situation, even when we're capable of so much more. We settle because it feels familiar. We hold on to something that isn't meant to last because we don't want to go through the uncertainty of change. But when something doesn't work out, it's often a sign that there is something far greater ahead, something we wouldn't have reached if we had stayed where we were. It's important to remember that there is more ahead of you than behind you. No matter what has happened, there are still incredible moments waiting to unfold in your life. There are still relationships that will uplift you, opportunities that will push you higher, and moments of joy that you haven't even imagined yet. If you knew what was ahead, you wouldn't waste another moment worrying about what didn't work out. You wouldn't be discouraged by the closed doors, and you wouldn't feel defeated by temporary disappointments. Instead, you would stay expectant, knowing that every step you take is leading you closer to something better. One of the greatest challenges is learning to trust, even when you don't have all the answers. It's easy to have confidence when everything is going according to plan, but real growth happens when you keep moving forward, even in the moments of uncertainty. When you refuse to let setbacks define you, when you choose to believe that something greater is ahead, you position yourself to receive what's next. There's a reason why certain things didn't work out. There's a reason why you had to walk away from some situations, why some opportunities passed you by, and why some doors remained closed. You may not see it now, but every single one of those moments was shaping you for what's ahead. Every person who has achieved something significant has faced moments when things didn't go as planned. They've encountered obstacles, setbacks, and disappointments. But the difference between those who give up and those who step into something greater is that the ones who keep believing are the ones who eventually see things come together in ways they never expected. You have to stay open to the possibilities ahead. Don't let what didn't work out cause you to miss what's coming. If you only focus on what's behind you, you'll miss the doors that are opening in front of you. What's ahead is greater than anything you've left behind. Sometimes the best things happen when we least expect them. A new opportunity, a life-changing relationship, a breakthrough, all of it can come in a way you never imagined. That's why you can't afford to give up now. You can't let past disappointments cause you to lower your expectations. The very thing you've been hoping for may be right around the corner, but you have to keep moving forward to reach it. No matter what has happened before, no matter how many setbacks you've faced, there is still more ahead. The story isn't over. What's coming is greater than what's behind. If you choose to believe that, if you choose to stay open to new possibilities, you'll step into something greater than you ever imagined. Everything you've been through has been leading you to something bigger. Every challenge, every setback, every unexpected turn has been preparing you for the next level. Keep moving forward with confidence, knowing that the best is still ahead. Life doesn't always go according to our plans. There are moments when we put in the effort, give our best, and still find ourselves waiting for the results we hoped for. It can feel discouraging when progress seems slow or when it looks like things aren't changing. You may be praying for a breakthrough, believing for a promotion, or working toward a dream, but nothing seems to be happening. That's when doubt starts whispering, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe you've missed your chance. But just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean that nothing is taking place. There are moments when things appear stagnant, but beneath the surface there is movement. Seeds grow underground long before they break through the soil. The same is true for what you're believing for. It may not be visible yet, but that doesn't mean progress isn't being made. It's easy to get impatient when we're waiting for things to fall into place. We want answers now. We want open doors immediately. But sometimes the timing isn't right just yet. It doesn't mean what you're hoping for won't happen. It just means there is a perfect time for it to come together. If something hasn't happened yet, it doesn't mean it never will. It may just be that the right opportunity, the right people, or the right circumstances haven't fully aligned yet. In these moments, it's easy to feel like things aren't working in your favor. You may look around and see other people moving forward, stepping into their dreams, and wonder why it's not happening for you. But what you don't see is what's happening behind the scenes. Just because someone else has stepped into their season doesn't mean yours isn't on the way. What is meant for you has already been planned. Think about a puzzle. Each piece has to fit in the right place at the right time. If you try to force a piece in too soon, it won't work. But when you wait until everything lines up, suddenly it all comes together perfectly. The same is true for your life. What you're waiting for may not have fit before, but that doesn't mean it won't fit later. During times of waiting, it's important to keep a strong mindset. You can either let impatience and frustration take over, or you can choose to trust that everything is working in your favor. You can either focus on what hasn't happened yet, or you can remind yourself that the right moment is still ahead. Your perspective in the waiting will determine how you walk into what's next. It's not easy to keep believing when there's no evidence of change. But the most important things in life require perseverance. If you stop believing too soon, you might miss what was right around the corner. You have to hold on even when nothing seems to be happening. Stay consistent, keep preparing, and continue expecting good things. Sometimes what looks like an obstacle is actually a necessary part of the journey. A delay can be frustrating, but it can also be the very thing protecting you from something you weren't ready for. There are times when we think we're ready, but there's still growth that needs to happen. There's still wisdom to be gained, lessons to be learned, and skills to be developed. A season of waiting isn't wasted. It's a time of preparation. Think about an athlete training for a big competition. They don't just wake up one morning and step onto the field. They spend months, even years, training, conditioning, and improving their skills. They might want to compete immediately, but without the proper preparation, they wouldn't be able to perform at their best. The same is true for you. What you're waiting for isn't just about the opportunity, it's about being fully prepared when that opportunity arrives. Waiting doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means staying ready, continuing to grow, and maintaining an attitude of expectancy. You may not see things happening as quickly as you'd like, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. There are things shifting behind the scenes that you can't see yet. If you're in a season where things seem to be moving slowly, don't let discouragement take over. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. Keep preparing as if what you're believing for is about to happen. Keep showing up, keep putting in the effort, and keep expecting that the right moment is coming. What is meant for you has already been set in place. The right doors will open at the right time. The opportunities you've been believing for will come together in ways you never expected. But in the meantime, stay patient, stay prepared, and don't let temporary delays convince you that what's ahead isn't worth waiting for. There will come a moment when things will start shifting, when everything will begin to make sense, and when you'll realize that the wait wasn't wasted, it was necessary. Stay strong, keep believing, and trust that what's ahead is worth every moment of patience. Life has a way of presenting us with unexpected twists and turns. There are moments when everything seems to be falling into place, and then, just as quickly, challenges arise that shake our confidence. It's easy to feel stuck when things don't go as planned. You may have started out with a vision, a dream, or a goal, only to find yourself facing obstacles that seem too big to overcome. In those moments, the temptation is to settle, to lower your expectations, or to believe that maybe this is as far as you're meant to go. But just because things haven't come together yet doesn't mean you've reached the end. It's natural to feel discouraged when progress seems slow. You might be working hard, giving your best effort, and yet the results you're hoping for haven't materialized. Maybe you've experienced setbacks that have made you question whether it's worth continuing. But the truth is, Challenges are not signs that you should give up. They are indicators that you're in the middle of a process that is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for something greater than you can see right now. It's easy to think that if something isn't happening quickly, it means it's not going to happen. But the most meaningful things in life often require time, persistence, and resilience. Just because the road is longer than you expected doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. In fact, the obstacles you face along the way are often the very things that prepare you for what's ahead. Think about a caterpillar inside its cocoon. At first, it might seem like nothing is happening. From the outside, it looks like a season of stillness, but inside, transformation is taking place. If the process were rushed, if the cocoon were broken open too soon, the butterfly wouldn't be fully developed. It wouldn't have the strength it needs to fly. The same is true for you. There is a process happening that you may not see, but it is necessary for your growth. If everything you wanted happened immediately, you might not be fully prepared to handle it. Every struggle you've faced, every challenge you've overcome, and every lesson you've learned is shaping you into the person you need to be. The difficulties are not there to stop you, they are there to refine you. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually a season of preparation. You may not see it now, but every experience is equipping you with the wisdom, strength, and resilience you'll need for what's coming next. It's easy to look at others and wonder why things seem to be happening for them while you're still waiting. But you're not in competition with anyone else. Your journey is unique. And what's meant for you will come in the right time and in the right way. If you stay focused on your own path, you'll find that the challenges you face are actually positioning you for something greater than you could have planned for yourself. There are times when you have to be willing to keep going even when you don't see immediate results. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Sometimes the most significant growth takes place in the unseen moments. The times when you're working, preparing, and staying faithful, even when nothing seems to be changing. It's in those moments that you're building the strength you'll need to step into what's ahead. The key is not to let temporary setbacks make you believe you've reached your limit. If you've faced obstacles, if doors have closed, if things haven't worked out the way you expected, that doesn't mean you're finished. It simply means there's more ahead that you haven't seen yet. What you're experiencing now is not the end of the story. The challenges you're facing are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. They're pushing you to grow, to adapt, and to become stronger. Many times what seems like a setback is actually a setup for something greater. There are moments when you look back and realize that what you thought was holding you back was actually redirecting you to something better. If that opportunity had worked out, if that relationship had lasted, if that door had stayed open, you might have settled for something less than what was truly meant for you. You have to trust that there is something ahead that is worth pushing through for. If you give up now, you'll never know what was waiting on the other side of the challenge. You may be closer than you realize. The breakthrough you've been waiting for, the opportunity you've been believing for, could be just beyond the point where most people quit. That's why you can't afford to give up. The strength you're building in this season will serve you in ways you can't even imagine yet. The lessons you're learning, the perseverance you're developing, and the faith you're strengthening are all preparing you for something greater. Keep pushing forward. Keep believing. Keep expecting, because no matter what has happened before, there is more ahead. You have come too far to stop now. What's waiting for you is greater than what's behind you. The best part of your journey is not in the past, it's still ahead. Stay the course, keep moving forward, and trust that everything you've been through is leading you towards something greater than you can imagine. There are moments in life when we feel like we've given everything we have, yet we still haven't seen the results we hoped for. We've put in the effort, made the sacrifices, and remained faithful, but the breakthrough hasn't come. It's in these moments that doubt begins to creep in. Thoughts start whispering, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe this is as far as you'll ever go. But just because you haven't seen it yet, doesn't mean it's not on the way. Too often people give up right before their breakthrough. They let go too soon, not realizing that the answer they've been waiting for is just around the corner. What you have to understand is that persistence is key. The dreams you have, the goals you're working toward, and the changes you want to see in your life are not out of reach. They are just on the other side of endurance. When we face obstacles, it's easy to assume that they are signs we should stop. We think that if something is difficult, maybe it's not meant to be. But difficulty is not a sign to quit. It's often an indicator that you're growing, that you're stretching, and that you're on the verge of something greater. The biggest breakthroughs in life come to those who refuse to quit when things get tough. Think about an athlete training for a championship. They push their body beyond what feels comfortable. They don't stop when they're tired. They keep going because they know that endurance is what separates the winners from those who fall short. In the same way, your ability to keep going when it's difficult is what will determine whether you reach your next level. Many times people start strong but don't finish strong. They begin with passion, but when the road gets rough, they back down. But if you want to see real progress, if you want to step into all this ahead, you have to learn to push past the moments when giving up seems easier. There will be times when it feels like you're not making progress. You may be working hard, showing up every day, giving it your all, and yet you're not seeing the results. But progress is often happening even when it's not visible. The most important changes take place beneath the surface, long before they can be seen. Think about how a seed grows. When you plant a seed in the ground, nothing seems to happen at first. For days, even weeks, you don't see any movement. But underneath the soil, roots are growing, stretching, and getting stronger. Then suddenly, one day, the seed breaks through the ground, and you finally see the growth that was happening all along. Your journey is the same way. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean nothing is happening. There are things shifting behind the scenes that you can't see yet. The work you've put in, the sacrifices you've made, and the faith you've held on to are not wasted. The key is to stay consistent. Keep showing up. Keep putting in the effort. Keep believing even when you don't feel like it, because every step you take is bringing you closer to your breakthrough. Sometimes people miss out on their best opportunities simply because they give up too soon. They stop short, not realizing that they were closer than they thought. You don't want to be someone who looks back and wonders what could have happened if you had just kept going a little longer. It's not always easy to keep believing when things don't happen on your timeline. But just because it's taking longer than expected doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Delay does not mean denial. What you're waiting for is still on its way, and the process you're going through is preparing you for it. There will be moments when you feel like stopping. There will be days when you wonder if it's worth it. But if you could see what's ahead, if you could see how close you are to stepping into something greater, you wouldn't consider quitting for a second. That's why you have to keep moving forward. Even if it's one small step at a time, keep going. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, keep trusting. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, keep believing. Because every time you push through when it's hard, every time you keep going when you feel like stopping, you are building strength, resilience, and endurance. What's coming is bigger than what's behind you. The best is still ahead, but you have to make it there to see it. You can't let temporary challenges rob you of a permanent breakthrough. You can't let a delay make you think it's over. Your perseverance is the key to unlocking the next season of your life. The opportunities you're hoping for, the doors you're waiting for, the breakthroughs you've been believing for are still ahead, but they require you to keep going. Don't settle where you are. Don't let a difficult season convince you to give up. Keep pushing forward. Keep expecting good things, and keep believing that the best is still ahead. Because no matter how things look right now, you haven't seen your best days yet. Keep moving forward, and soon you'll step into something greater than you ever imagined. Life has a way of testing us, of putting us in situations where we feel stretched, uncomfortable, and uncertain about what's ahead. It's easy to get caught up in what's happening now, what's missing, what's difficult, what seems unfair. But no challenge, no obstacle, no delay is permanent. You may be in a season where things aren't coming together as quickly as you hoped. Maybe you face setbacks that made you question whether you're on the right path. Perhaps you've seen others move forward while you feel like you're stuck in the same place. But what's in front of you is not all there is. What you're experiencing right now is just one chapter. It's not the whole story. It's easy to settle into the mindset that where you are is where you'll always be, but just because you've been in a difficult place for a long time doesn't mean you're supposed to stay there. Just because a door hasn't opened yet doesn't mean it never will. What you're believing for, what you're hoping for, what you've been working toward, it's still on the way. Sometimes we limit ourselves by looking at what hasn't happened yet. We measure our future by our past experiences, thinking that because things haven't worked out before, they never will. But the past does not define the future. Just because something didn't happen in one season doesn't mean it won't happen in the next. There are things shifting behind the scenes that you can't see right now. Pieces are moving into place. The right connections are forming. The right doors are being prepared. But if you focus only on what you can see at this moment, you might miss what's coming next. Think about a river. A river doesn't stay still. It's always flowing, always moving forward, always changing. Even when the surface looks calm, there is movement happening underneath. Your life is the same way. Even if things seem still, even if you can't see progress, something is shifting beneath the surface. The challenge is that we don't always see the movement while it's happening. We want instant results. We want things to come together on our timeline, but sometimes the best things take time. A delay is not a denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. If you're feeling discouraged, if you're questioning whether things will ever change, remind yourself that you are still in motion. You are still moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it. Just because you haven't arrived yet doesn't mean you're not on the way. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we like. But frustration won't move you forward. Faith will. Disappointment won't open new doors. Determination will. You have to make the decision to keep believing, to keep hoping, to keep expecting something greater. Because the moment you start to settle, the moment you start to believe that nothing is changing, you begin to limit what's possible. Your mindset in this season will determine how you step into the next. If you stay focused on what's not happening, you'll miss the opportunities that are right in front of you. If you allow setbacks to define you, you'll start to believe that progress isn't possible. But if you shift your focus, if you choose to believe that more is ahead, you'll begin to see things in a new way. Think about a mountain climber. When they start their journey, the peak seems so far away. There are moments when the climb gets steep, when their muscles ache, when they feel exhausted. But the key is to keep moving, one step at a time, even when they can't see the top, even when the journey feels endless. They keep going because they know that if they just keep moving forward, eventually they'll reach the summit. You may not be where you want to be yet, but if you keep moving forward, you will get there. If you keep showing up, keep believing, keep preparing, the right doors will open at the right time. What's ahead is greater than what's behind. Where you are now is not your final destination. If you could see what's coming, you wouldn't let temporary challenges discourage you. You wouldn't allow small delays to convince you that it's over. There will come a moment when everything begins to make sense. The opportunities you've been waiting for will come together. The right people will show up at the right time. The situations that seemed impossible will suddenly shift in your favor. But you have to keep moving toward it. You have to keep preparing as if it's already on the way. You may feel like nothing is changing, but you are closer than you think. The pieces are coming together. The path is clearing. The breakthrough is ahead. So don't settle. Don't get stuck thinking that where you are now is where you'll always be. Keep looking ahead. Keep expecting. Keep moving forward, because the best is not behind you, it's still ahead. As you stand at this moment in your life, remember that what you've been through is not the end of your story. Every challenge, every delay, every moment of uncertainty has been shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for something greater. You may not see it yet, but something incredible is ahead. Too often people stop short of their breakthrough. They let setbacks convince them to settle. They allow disappointment to define their future, and they start believing that their best days are behind them. But not you. You are not meant to stay stuck. You are not meant to live in the past. You are meant to rise, to grow, and to step into something greater than you ever imagined. If doors have closed, it's because better ones are about to open. If you face setbacks, it's because they are setting you up for something beyond what you expected. If things haven't worked out yet, it's because the right opportunity is still unfolding. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to lose faith. This is the time to stand strong, to believe bigger, and to move forward with confidence. Because the best is not behind you. The best is not in the past. The best is still ahead. So keep going, keep believing, keep expecting. Because when you look back, you'll realize that every struggle, every delay, and every challenge was just a stepping stone leading you to something greater. The best is not over. The best is next.